Hello, captains. This is Kent again, and welcome to the flight show. So this flight in the show has to go out to one of the watchers of the channel, Tom Baldock, who had a request for a Canary Island flight, doing one of the island hops that they do, between the Canary Islands, using one of their local airlines, which is Binter, using the ATR 72 500. And here we go. I got delivery, I got the plane, I have the payware software. So let's make this happen. Now, there are several islands in this chain, so I had to kind of think about, which islands did I have, which ones did I have payware support for. And you know what? I just said, forget about it. I picked up La Palma because it was out of the chain. That was the one airport I didn't have. So we're going to be doing a flight from, forgive me if I say this wrong, I'm going to try to get it right. We're going to go to Lanzarote, or Gulf Charlie Romeo, and we'll be flying to La Palma, or Gulf Charlie Lima Alpha. And so let's just jump in here and get it started. I'll be using everything except ATC. And I've also been experimenting with some freeware AI. It took a lot to get it set up, but I'm really starting to love it. I'm actually starting to love it more than Air Traffic Live. Because one, if you look over here, when there's some aircraft that they have to replace or don't have a livery for, and they put this made-up airline Dedulous, and it's almost like there's more Dedulous airlines in this world with ATR Live. Oh, version 2, not the first one, but version 2. There's more Dedulous planes in the world than there are anything else, and I was getting sick of that. So I'm using also this other third-party freeware for traffic. I'm hoping that we'll get to see some of that in the flight as well. But let's go ahead and get this started. So I'm going to go ahead and unpause and light it up. All right, which reminds me, so we need to, oh, wrong. It's not in your field of view per se, but I'm opening the doors and all that good stuff. Excellent. And now we got to get remember, we don't have an APU per se in this aircraft. It's using the engine, it's using the right engine. But it's locking the propeller brake so that it doesn't spin. So we're gonna get that started up. I'm gonna put that fuel there, parking pump, lock those in place. Throttles are idle. Check the pressure. Pressure is good. Now we're gonna go up and turn on the prop brake. Get our fuel pump going. And honestly, I think this would work regardless of whether I had that fuel pump going or not, but I do it anyway. Someone had asked me to learn the procedures for this aircraft because the instructions that they sent they're hard to read and no explanation. It's just from the actual manual of the plane. But gotta turn on our nav light, let everybody know we're in the cockpit. I just haven't had the time, so let's say this summer, hopefully I'll be able to get to it because this semester is almost over. Love the students, but man, I'm tired. All right, so anyway, we've got the prop brake in place, so let's go ahead and get it started. Okay, it's starting to rev up. Now, is the propeller locked? Yes. Propeller is locked, so we're going to go ahead and start our third-party flight simulator. What is it called? Let me look up here because I totally forgot. It's called Flight Simulator First Officer. Thank you. Okay, forgot it on the fly. I'm going to get that started. It's connecting.
Parking brake on.
Now I'm telling you, he's going to turn off my engine because I haven't figured out how to stop it. Did he turn it off? Did he turn it off? He didn't. Good. All right. So now pre-flight flow. Don't you turn off my engine. Now I don't have to worry about the batteries being drained out.
Good afternoon, Captain.
Good afternoon. He's doing his safety safety checks. I just want to make sure that he doesn't turn off the engine while we're here. He did it. And you know what? I'm going to put him back on.
Let me know when the power's been established.
I had it established. Were you with that girl last night? Because you always are tripping when you get back from seeing her. I don't know what she does, but she got some voodoo on you, dog. All right. Get it started up again. Now, he usually leaves it alone after that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get in this 63 seconds before he does his walk around. I'm going to skip that because this is not going to take time long to prepare, but I do need to hear him come back from his walk around. And when he does that, then I'll start my other program, which is the pilot crew experience. So in the meantime, I'll go ahead and get the CDU programmed. So let's do
I'm
this.
gonna stop the walk around now.
Excellent. Let me know when you get back. All right. So we are taking off from Golf Charlie Romeo Romeo. Right. Set navigation. Flight plan. Let's see. Our flight plan, which I made in PFPX, is we're really only going to one waypoint, and that is Larry's. So LAIYS. All right. Now we can go ahead and put in our departure. We will be departing. No, I didn't want that. Do that again. It's froze for a minute. I want to go to, we're taking off on runway 3, and we will be using the SID. Where is it? Oh yeah, Larry M1. There it is. All right, great. Execute. So that's in there, and now we can do our arrival. I'm going to go ahead and knock that out too. Legs. Aren't you going to let me go to the thing? Previous? No, not let me do that. Oh, there it is. It's just, that's departure. So what am I missing here? Why is it not showing me arrival? I have no idea. Maybe I should have done all that first. So that's taken care of. That's taken care of. No, I don't want to change that. Just go ahead and clear. I'm good. Oh, because I didn't put in the destination. Duh. Alright, so I'm just all excited to have some time this weekend to actually post something. It has been a rough week. I had to do a review on my department, the discipline of physics, and it's been a long week. But I'm still have stuff to do, but I need a little me time, and so we're gonna have a flight. Alright, and our arrival will be, we can use the Q36 because we are landing on runway 36 in DB, and we will be arriving with the Star Larry 1A. Execute. Let's take a look at everything. Everything looks beautiful. I don't think I see any issues. Just want to check these altitudes. I don't even know if we'll get up to our actual altitude, but we'll give it a shot anyway. Alright, so I'm good here because we don't really have to do the whole, we don't have to do the fuel weights and all of that. This plane is not that advanced, but it's still fun to fly. I don't know why I have so much fun flying it. But don't get me wrong, I love flying the Dash 8. But these are actually rival airplanes, so if they ever designed this aircraft as a study level, I would buy it in a hot minute, because I like to be involved too. Let's see here, altitude. Our cruising altitude is going to be 24, is it 24? Yeah, it's 24,000 feet. So we got that in there. And I'm going to go ahead and start the boarding process because I can skip his walk around. So let's go ahead and...
We're ready to go.
Great.
Looks like we picked a good day to fly.
I agree. And so now, as you can see, our flight crew is right here. And normally I would also throw in GSX, but because they don't have an animation for this airplane, it doesn't really even matter because they're not going to be there. And I'm going to be using Ultimate Ground Crew for the pushback. Not that I need it, because one of the followers of the channel who was a pilot was saying, hey, they don't even use a pushback. They use their reversers and they just back up on their own, which is cool, and you can do it on this plane. But hell, I bought Ultimate Ground Crew. I like looking at the wing markers. That's why I'm going to do it. But anyway, I really appreciated his information on that. So now... turn down the volume in case I was having to yell. But so now, what do I need to do? Oh, yeah, I started the crew. They're doing their thing. And the pre-flight checklist, I think we're able to do pre-flight. No. I will do it after we close the door. I forget in the order that is for this aircraft. So, in the meantime, give you some visuals. And let's do a little hot, quick... there she is.
At this time, please be sure to make sure all large carry-on items are in the overhead bin and the small items are actually in front of you. If you have any trouble reading any assistance, please don't hesitate to let a flight attendant know and we will have to help you. If the overhead bin is full after you put your carry-on inside of it, please close the bin as a courtesy to other passengers. Once all your items are put away, please clear the aisle and sit down in your seat to allow other passengers to find their seats as well. If you are seated in an emergency exit row, please read the exit seating responsibilities in the safety card in the seat back in front of you. Please make sure you are willing and able to perform the actions required. If you are not able or prefer not to perform these actions, please let a flight attendant know so you can be reseated. You are free to use your portable electronic devices during the boarding process. We ask that larger electronic devices are stowed once we depart from the gate. Thank you and welcome aboard.
Excellent. Okay, so we have our emergency lights. They are armed. He will handle those lights. Let's take a look at the progress of our boarding.
We're ready to go when you are.
All right. Hit it.
Good morning, ladies
Pre-flight
and gentlemen,
checklist.
and welcome aboard flight
Oxygen.
12.
Tested. Flight
Flight time will
instruments.
be roughly 1
Heading set.
hour.
Altitude set. Parking brake.
Please note
Set.
that
Fuel control switches.
we ask that you make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your larger devices are now
Cut off.
down.
Checklist complete.
If you have not already, please
All right.
fasten your seatbelt and verify
That
that
technically
well attached
wasn't cut
to
off
the
because we need to
left.
cut
The
this
disabled
off.
seatback must be in the full upright and locked position for departure. Cabin crew,
We're gonna
please
leave it like
departure
this
cross-check, verify
for the
traffic,
moment, and then we're going to get
standby
GSX ready to
call.
back us
Cabin
out,
crew,
and then we will just release the brake, and then that propeller will start rolling. So this has a procedure that's a little bit different than a lot of the other aircraft. So we're going to start our pushback
Ladies
sequence.
and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the front of the aircraft for a safety demonstration. When the seatbelt light is on, please make sure that your seatbelt is fastened low and tight across your lap. To fasten, insert the metal fittings into one another. Tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. In the event that the seatbelt light is not on, we suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened in case of unexpected turbulence.
Go ahead.
In a few moments, you can now locate one of the several emergency exits on this aircraft.
Communications are okay, and the brakes are set.
Behind you. In case of an emergency, we need to evacuate the aircraft. There is lighting on the floor that will guide you towards the exit. In the event of a decompression, an oxygen mask will drop in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you. Place it firmly over your nose and mouth.
I
Secure
like
the
my
elastic band
setting
behind your head.
on map.
Tighten the strap if necessary and breathe normally.
Our nav
Although
is
the bag is
on.
not inflated, oxygen is flowing to the mask. If you're traveling with a child or
Current
someone
speed
who
is
requires
knots.
assistance, secure your mask on
So
first
we're good
and then
here.
assist others. Keep your mask on until a member of the crew advises you it is safe to remove it.
Cockpit to
In
ground.
the unlikely event of a water landing, a life vest is located in a pouch under your seat or between the armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and remove the vest.
We are ready for pushback and engine start facing southwest.
Pull the straps tight. To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord only when
Facing
exiting
southwest.
aircraft.
Release the brakes,
If it doesn't
please.
inflate automatically,
Parking brake off.
the mouth
Brakes are
for
released.
manual inflation. This vest is equipped with a whistle and a ledge if you need to.
Alright, starting the push.
Secondary release device. Please make sure to exit the aircraft as soon as possible and leave your belongings. Please securely stow your personal items. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened and seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position. We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detectors located in the lavatories is prohibited by law. All of this information
Y'all hear that?
Hold on,
Don't ask us.
you can start the engines at your discretion.
Please read it and let a cabin member know if you have any questions. Thank you for flying with us again. We hope you enjoy your flight.
Start engine 1. Okay, we got a before start flow. We'll have him doing his thing. Got the lights where they need to be. Sorry if you heard me grinding my teeth. I try not to do that, but sometimes I don't even. Sometimes I don't even recognize that it's happening. There's our turn.
Before start checklist. Flight deck door. Locked. Passenger signs. Set. MCP. V2115. Heading 30. Altitude 0. Set. Takeoff speed. V1110. VR111. V2115. Set. CDU pre-flight.
Ready for
Completed. Trim. Set. Taxi and takeoff briefing. Completed. Beacon lights. On. Checklist complete.
Alright, we'll have him co-pilot engine start. I'll skip that. I'll start the engines. Why not?
The push is complete. Please set the brakes.
Parking brake on.
Brakes are set.
Understood.
Now that we turn off this prop brake, that engine is now turning, and we can go ahead and start the left engine.
Engine 1 cut out.
Okay, turbo is disconnected and pin is out and equipment is clear.
Thanks, you're clear to disconnect and go to hand signals.
Thanks and have a good flight.
Thank you, appreciate that. Okay, after start flow, let's get it going. We got it. Okay, it was off screen, that's why the sound went off briefly. Alright. Flaps 1. They are walking off into the Pecos. Alright. Let's see, taxi checklist.
Taxi checklist.
Go ahead, flight deck.
Eyes. Recall. Check. Auto brakes. RTO. Flight controls.
Let's see here. I gotta bring my flight control. I might have to bring that back for this to work. I don't know. Hey, wait a minute. we got our clearance to taxi.
Parking brake off.
See a little bit of scenery dispute going on out here, but we'll live with that. I have been working diligently on my frame rates, and I have been looking at some tutorials that were posted by Adam Pestridge, and they have been paying off. A few things. You know what? I'm going to need you all to excuse me for just a second, because my dog is actually like trying to eat one of my notebooks. I'm sure you've, enjoyed him on being some previous flights. Boucher, first officer, stop eating the checklist notebook. Stop eating it. Oops, I was looking over my shoulder. Went too far, my bad. Okay. I love this little guy, but jeez. And let's go ahead and set our, forgot to do this, but our IAS, because as I've been told again by another follower of the channel, that typically the ATR 72 ascends at 173 knots IAS. So let's go ahead and make that happen. And it Boucher, no. Stop. Would you believe my first officer Boucher literally was like trying to put his elbow on the book so I couldn't get it from under him so he could continue to munch on it? My gosh. I tell you. He was doing nothing all day. I start filming a flight and he want to act a fool. Whatever. You can't stop this party. Get a little bit more throttle going here. Power settings for takeoff, so that's good. This is exciting. I mean, I wish they had like an FS2 crew level interaction with this aircraft, but I guess it's just like too low on their radar. But like I said, I wish they'd do a study level version of this aircraft. I love it. I love the dash 8. It's just, I have different feelings. Some people want to fly one plane or one plane only. I sometimes want to fly this, sometimes I want to fly something else. Usually depends on what I've seen on a video one day.
Weather along the route today. We may encounter a few bumps as we climb out, but once we get up the altitude, we expect a pretty smooth ride. However, if that changes, we'll be sure to let you know. For now, though, just sit back, relax, and we'll have you in the air shortly.
I sit here and think to myself, if Boucher had a voice, that'd be his voice as my first officer. Kind of crazy. All right. And I have my electronic flight bag by Aerosoft over here on the my left screen. I used to actually have I worked with 5 screens because I had 3 27-inch monitors as a panorama, and then I have the one on my left for the electronic flight bag, and one on my right for just anything extra, and one right below the center monitor for instruments if I ever wanted to export that screen. But now I have an ultra-wide 49-inch, so that eliminated 2 monitors. Saves energy, and I love it. Okay, we are now at the line, so let's do our checklist.
Before takeoff checklist. Flaps. Set. Checklist complete. Flight attendants prepare for takeoff.
All right, we will say that we had clearance. And we are on our way to La Palma. Or La Palma. I don't know if you say that L very much. I also bought that new flight recorder that allows you to, it works with Microsoft Flight Simulator and it works with Prepar3D V5. So I'll be doing some videos where I record from the external rather than just popping out or like flying the flight, but filming it after I replay it and record it. So I'm excited about that too. All right. Everything is done. Lights, take off.
Line. Check.
Everything I need to see is right there.
80 knot. Check. Rotate. V2. Positive rate. Landing gear up.
Flaps up.
LNAV on.
We're 1500. I think I'm going to pop on the autopilot, so
Autopilot on. Acceleration altitude.
get a chance to get some external visuals here. I like the scenery, but I could use some more autogen, and my autogen's actually pretty high, so I don't know if it's just the third-party scenery for this airport, which you see in the background. But I don't know. I would have expected it to be a little bit more populated, but maybe that's what it is. You know, Aerosoft made Palma not a while ago, but they did do an update for Prepar3D, 5. But I do like it. The photo real, that's nice. Now, as you can see just from the angle of attack, this plane is actually kind of getting up there for a propeller prop. And so now we got to change our power level to climb. And since I'm at it, our landing elevation is 108 feet, so let's go ahead and get that in there. The closest to that is 100, so just leave it there. And right now we are currently flying our star. I guess since we're in a climb and it's not a heck of a whole lot going on. I'll show it to you. Bring that over here. And as you can see,
Transition altitude. Check.
excellent. So here's our star. Oh, let me throw that
After
in.
takeoff checklist.
And that's when we'll reach cruising altitude or top of climb. All right, so let me go ahead and get back in the game. Oh my gosh, sacrilege! I call it a game. Simulation. I'm anal like that. All right, and as you can see, we're flying our route, so we should be coming to our turn. Excellent. Really nice rendering. Catching those PBR materials right there. The weather is stunning as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now passed 10,000 feet. You may turn on larger portable electronic devices. This is also a reminder to please keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the duration of the flight and do not form a line near the left point. This aircraft is cruising onboard Wi-Fi. You will be required to pay a small fee if you wish to access it. We do offer complimentary in-flight TV thanks to our partners.
You know, small fee is a relative term.
You'll be able to access a wide range of free live TV and state movie libraries.
Passing 10,000 feet.
The flight crew has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. You cannot ever move around the cabin. However, we ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened when needed in case of unexpected turbulence.
I love it. Okay, so nothing much to see here since we have the overcast, unless you're one of those that are just kind of really into watching the weather. Come on, move out. Now, if I like zoom out, it gets to be fisheye, and I hate fisheye view. So let me see if I can go to camera and forward and back, and if I move further away. It doesn't let me move further away because this is like not the. This is like this built-in stock view from Prepared, so it doesn't evidently make me move back from this particular one. But that's all right because I made other views. Although this one is locked in, it's not like I can pivot around the aircraft. I can like pivot from this position where I'm looking at it. Case in point, like that. But that's fine. I love this view. Okay, I'll bring you in when we're a little more past the top of climb. Okay, so we have just made it to 24,000 feet. Feeling good about that. Oh wait, I had to check my barometric pressure. We still got a little bit more to do. Is it adjusting? Yeah, it is. Okay, so we're right there, 200 off. What is this warning light that I got going on here? Access cabin. Okay.
back for a list of complimentary premium drinks. Premium drinks are available for a small charge. If you wish to make an additional purchase, we only accept credit cards.
Okay, so we are now cruising to La Palma. Let's take a look at our ETA. Let's see. We're 39 nautical miles from our one waypoint, Larry's. And then I can give you a better estimate of our arrival time. I'm using the information that I'm presented from Aerosoft. So, all right, I'll see you back in a little bit. Oh, that is a beautiful view. I just do not understand why I find this plane fun to fly. Even if some of the buttons don't, oh yeah, turn them on and off, they don't do anything. I don't care. That is on, so, okay. Okay, we are reaching our top of descent. So we are going to go ahead and bring us down to 8,000. And before we engage, let's do our descent checklist.
Descent checklist. Recall. Check. Notes. Check. Auto brakes. Set. Landing down.
Pardon me.
Check. Approach briefing. Completed. Checklist complete.
All right, so let's engage. Let's see here. Pardon me. We're going to, one, change our power. We're going to say we wanted to send.
VNAV off.
I wanted to send at a rate. This rate is fine.
VNAV on.
No, we want IAS.
VNAV on.
And so first,
VNAV on.
we'll start our descent. Then we will pull our throttles back.
VNAV off.
Excuse me, and I'm going to go ahead and make this 4,500, which will be our first flight restriction. All right, let's see how things are looking. So bright. The mountaintop from one of the neighboring islands. Sweet. Which island is this? It doesn't say. The airport on this particular island is Tenerife, Los Redios. So I have that airport too, but that is the island where that airport would be. It'd be kind of back here. But that's not where we're going. We're going to La Palma. About to cross 18,000 feet. And actually, let me bring my heading. Good practice. I am going to give some throttle so that it descends a little bit less, because we're descending at 2,000 feet per minute, and I think we don't need to be descending quite that fast. So give it some throttle, which will lower our descent rate, so that our IS will keep the 225. Okay, I think that's good. Bring it back a little so we have like 1,500 feet per minute. Bring it down in here. I'm using my controller here in the home office, home cockpit, if you will. There we go. Excellent. And by the way, I really appreciate the suggestion for this flight, because, you know, I can do my pilot's life, but I fly United, and they're domestic flights primarily, so it's like, I don't want to bore you with the same old livery to, you know, destinations over and over. And I could do, you know, international flights. With those long hauls, you know, it's a little time consuming that I got to fly the long haul. And yeah, I could use, you know, time acceleration and everything. But sometimes I don't want to. I just want it to fly. I don't know why. They're just, I'm not as hardcore as some sim captains that they, you know, time acceleration does not exist. You're going to fly across the Atlantic, you're going to fly it. But I suppose it depends on my mood. But all of that being said, I really like the suggestions, because, as you know, with my international series, I try to do South America destinations, Central America to South America, and the Eurasia, or really the Pacific Southwest and Pacific South Northwest, I suppose. Well, that sounds more like what Seattle is. Let me say that more. I think the proper term is the term that they use for that region in Orbx, and it's escaping me simply because I want to say it to you. But basically, you know, I do things in Japan, Korea. I got some more airports actually in Southeast Asia, because I have Gimpo in South Korea. I have Hong Kong. I've had that for a while actually, and I also had Kai Tak. But now that that's closed, there's also this thing of, well, I've done a video where I've landed at it, and that's fine, but it's not really done now because it's closed. So the realism aspect, I bump up the head of, should I even be doing this flight? So I say all this to say that I really appreciate when you have suggestions for flights that you want to see, because you want to see it. And I don't always, I can speculate what would be good, but but that's one of the reasons I wanted to do South America. Oh, and I totally forgot, Africa. And the reason I want to do these regions is because everybody's doing everything else. And I just feel like it's not creative because everyone else is doing it. And the thing is, I think that people tend to buy airports that they're familiar with, which is great. But I have a lot of airports. Oh, that's the warning of my quit. That's the warning of my FS. Oh no, I don't want you to quit that. No. What was wrong with that? Is it still? But is it there? No, it's not there. Okay, well I can restart it. That's no problem because I can tell it where I want it to start. That's fine. I don't know what went wrong there. Okay, so let's see. Connect.
Autopilot on. LNAV on.
Okay.
Passing 10,000 feet.
All right. So we want to skip all this before takeoff checklist. Nah, here we go. Now we're at the descent thing. So can get back to that. But I said what I was going to say is. Sorry, I just had to eat a chip. I'm starving. I apologize. So, what'd she say? But your suggestions are great. But the reason is I was doing, because sometimes I just want to know what you want to fly. And the reason I've done the South America series is because since you tend to go with airports you're familiar with, I really feel like there are some beautiful third-party airports out there that are in these regions that if you're from the US or Europe, I think get overlooked. And so I was like, well, let me try a couple of flights in South America. And I love these third-party softwares that airports that are coming out. Sierra Sim does an excellent job of airports, especially those really challenging ones. Like
We have begun our final descent into your destination. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are stowed and seats are in a full upright position. Please also store any carry-on items either in the seat back pocket or under the seat in front of you. Please complete all Wi-Fi related tasks and stow any larger electronics.
Okay, so as I was saying, okay, let me finish this thought and then I'll get to prepping for our landing because we have to put our courses and stuff in. The suggestions really help because sometimes you have so many airports you just have no clue. Now I'm going to do a video on how I choose airports now. I have a video that I chose, but it was a few years ago and it was my first rationale. But that was to how you buy airports and my strategies for that. But I'm going to do another video just on how I choose them. Especially if I'm not using, I guess I'll talk like, well, you can use software like this, like a Pilot's Life. But if you're not doing that, I'll give you some of the logic that I use. But then, fortunately, since I do this channel, I have viewers and they'll make suggestions. And they tend to be some really good suggestions. So, again, if it's just an approach or a takeoff or preparation of a plane that I have, let me know. Now, if it's a plane I need to learn, I'll be honest with you, time is kind of limited on anything that I have to learn. So those would probably be videos I could do in the summer when I don't have a heavy teaching load. But all that is to say, thanks for the suggestions. I really appreciate them. And keep them coming, please. And, again, thank you for watching, supporting the channel and all that good stuff. And I guess you can tell I use this plane quite a bit, but the study level aircraft that I really do love as well, the 737 by PMDG, the 747 by PMDG, the 777, the new release I like, not as much as 747. I do like Quality Wings 787, although it's involved. It's not PMDG level involved, but I still like it a lot. What's another? Well, and Captain Sim. I actually do like the Captain Sim 767 and 757. I do. It's more going on than Carenado, But at the same time, I feel like there are switches that you have to turn them on enough or you go through the flows, but if you didn't, the plane's still going to do what it does anyway. Unlike PMDG, if you don't do it right, it ain't working. So, you know, but okay. Let's go ahead and get to work. We need to come down here. And, oh, no, actually, we need to go up here and set our course. Our landing course is going to be 350. There we go, 350. And our radio frequency needs to be, it's an NDB of 389. Let's see here. I think I'm doing this right. I don't know. I've never really done the NDB with this aircraft, so be gentle with me. Okay. 3. Oh, that's just that digit. Oh, okay. I get it. So 3, and we're getting to that altitude. Let me hurry up. So that should be a 9. Hurry up. Where is that particular digit? It's not helping. All right. We're at 4,500. So let me give it more throttle because we're about to level out. Okay, hold on 1 second. All right, I said skip it. So, okay, we need to be descending. So, let's see here. Where's my mouse? Did it freeze? Okay. Where's my mouse? Like literally, where's my mouse? Okay. There we go. And we can bring our throttles back. And we want this to be 3,400. That's our hard ceiling. I mean, minimum, rather. Sorry. Took that away. 3,400. There we go. And as you can see out of the cockpit here, the water is now starting to emerge from the mist, which is totally cool. And then after 3,400, our ceiling, our next hard altitude is going to be 1,570. And we will set our heading to the course that we need to be at, which will be 350.
Gear. Landing gear down.
Where was I? 350. Second thing so I can get up there quickly. There we go. Second finger, bring it back down to 350. Boom. Okay, we're good. And let's see here. Flaps 1. Now we can go ahead and bring this down to 1,500. we're a little off center of the runway. So once we reach this next waypoint, I will take control and guide it a little bit to the left so that we can have the alignment with the runway and bring it in. This is actually a little bit of a challenging approach. I'm glad I chose it. It gives you something a little, you know, more involved to do. All the lights are good. Excellent. Ship off the coast. Just a smidge under the glide slope. So, yeah, that's, and I know that because of the EFB over here on the side. So, there we go. And by the way, I did get my NDB to work. I had to use my, what do you call it? MPC from VFR Insight. Because I just couldn't get that dial to do it. Couldn't find the sweet spot. Okay, I'm now in my place. Let's do our landing checklist.
Autopilot off. Autopilot on. Autopilot off.
My bad.
Landing checklist. Speed brake armed. Speed brake. Armed. Landing gear. Down. Flaps. Set. Checklist complete. Flight attendants prepare for landing.
Trimming the aircraft up a bit. Excellent. A little bit more throttle.
1,000.
We're at our VREF. Trimmed it up so I don't have to really put a whole lot of pressure on the stick for our descent. Now my EFB says that I am on a good glide slope, but the poppy lights up there might say that from where I'm looking, it thinks I'm a little low, but we're good. We're good. No complaints here. There we go. Poppy lights are green now. Reduce throttle for descent. I am loving these frame rates. Oh my gosh, I've been working here this so long. Now we're a little high. I'm going to drop the throttle. Oh, this airport looks beautiful.
Minimum
200.
Continue.
$50, $40, $30, $20, $10.
100 knots. 80 knots. Reverse thrust. Reverse idle.
What are you talking about?
60 knots.
Idle, no reverse.
and it's currently about 20 degrees Celsius. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins, as items may have been shifted during the flight. If this is your final destination, we thank you for flying with us. If you're making a connection, we encourage you to check your itinerary to ensure a smooth continuation of your journey.
Okay, now that we've gotten that discussion off, let's go ahead and get a little replay of that landing using Chase Plane's replay function. See if there we go. I was wonder, it's the one where it kind of has a little bit of a dynamic slowdown to it, but the one where it's just immediate works fine. So I'll have to, put some time into that.
Watch ground speed.
Beautiful, gentle touchdown. This was all reversers here. I didn't put my foot on the brakes actually, so it's nice to see the effects that the reversers actually have on its deceleration. Okay, back to the cockpit. Let's get this plane in. And let's go ahead and get GSX in the... Well, first off, before I do GSX, let me just see if Ultimate Ground Crew... Let's see, marshalling. It does. Not all my airports work for this. So let's go ahead and put it at... Well, it doesn't recognize all of them, but I will... Do you want to select the gate 2 as the destination? Yeah, we'll do that.
Go ahead, cockpit.
So I'm using Ultimate Ground Crew this time, just for the marshalling, because I was curious if it saw the, parking things. Because it doesn't always. But we're going down to 7. What I do like about GSX is the AFCADs. Every time, they're there. It's just, what they don't always agree with is that sometimes in GSX, when I'm looking at Aerosoft and it says this is a large parking space, it doesn't always agree with GSX. But you can go into the settings to change that. So it just sometimes takes a little effort. But I like both. But of course GSX has more that has going on. But I do like the pushback more and the talking that I have to do in
Go ahead, cockpit.
Ultimate Ground Crew. Oh, I overshot it. That's okay. Got it. I need to put on my tracker software. Okay. There we go. Alright. What you got for me? Oh, you're just standing there because this one's electronic. Okay, that's fine. Nothing personal. Just trying to make sure you had a job. I get it. A little lower. Oh, you're working. That's cool. Where are you going to tell me to stop? Now, that says stop there. He says keep going, but I'm stopping here.
Parking brake on.
And that is when I can go ahead and use GSX, the deboarding. Not that you'll see them get off, because that's just not how they roll. Why's my button stuck? I don't know.
Go ahead, flight deck.
There we go. There we go. This view is what seems in the replay to have the jitter. I'll have to find out why. But we have made it to our destination. So I really hope, Tom, you enjoyed it. Thank you for the request.
Go ahead, flight deck.
And be sure to holler at me when you see it and let me know what you think. If there are other suggestions, I'm totally open to them. I appreciate you tuning in for this flight, and I really hope you're out there being safe, getting vaccinated, the whole nine. And I will see you again in the virtual skies. Oh, look, the bus is coming. And no one's going to get off the plane, but the bus is coming. So we'll just roll with that. I like La Palma. This stuff going on about here looks kind of basic, but the airport itself, I love it. I really do love this scenery. I'm glad I had a chance to finally do a flight here. First time
Go ahead, flight deck.
landing at La Palma.
Go ahead, cockpit.
I'll tell you what, we're going to kill you. There you go. Now it's just all GSX. But thanks a bunch, everybody. Thanks a lot. Thanks a bunch. Take care. Bye-bye.